in the middle of an airport security line, clutching your small pill case or prescription bottle and suddenly wondering, what if they just take it away? What if security thinks you're hiding something suspicious inside those harmless little tablets you carry every single day? The truth is, most travelers never think about the psychology behind airport confiscations. They assume pills are either allowed or banned. Black and white, simple rules. But the reality is a gray zone filled with human judgment, cultural misunderstandings, and split-second decisions by officers who see thousands of travelers pass through in a single shift. And the untold truth is that the fate of your pills can depend less on aviation law and more on perception, on how you package them, how you behave, and even the country you are flying from or to. I have seen people break into tears when their vital medications, blood pressure tablets, sleeping aids, even simple vitamins were tossed into a plastic bin and never seen again. Not because they were illegal, but because of confusion, missing labels, or officers deciding that unidentified loose pills in a plastic baggie look too much like something dangerous. What no one tells you is that there's an unspoken checklist going on in the officer's mind. Does the container have a pharmacy label? Does the name match your passport? Are pills scattered loose like candy or sealed in factory blister packs? If it looks careless, it raises suspicion. And if suspicion rises, confiscation is the easy choice. And here's the twist. Most confiscations aren't actually about health or safety. They're about liability, because airports don't want to be responsible if you overdose or hand out medication mid-flight. And airlines certainly don't want a medical emergency blamed on pills they let slip through. Think about that. You could be carrying legal essential medication, but if it looks unlabeled or excessive, it could be flagged not as illegal, but as a risk. And risk is what airports are trained to eliminate at all costs. I once met a traveler who carried nothing but small aspirin tablets for a long flight. He put them in a mint container to save space, and in Frankfurt, an officer dumped the whole thing in the trash because it looked suspiciously like narcotics, and the traveler spent the next 9 hours worrying if his heart would act up without the medication. On the flip side, another traveler I interviewed said she carried dozens of supplements, labeled and sealed, all in their original packaging, and she breezed through security in Dubai, one of the strictest hubs in the world. Same concept, pills, but two very different outcomes. Here's what most people don't realize. Pills are not treated like liquids or electronics with universal rules. They exist in a floating category that shifts with culture, law, and even the mood of the security officer that day. In some Asian airports, unlabeled pills can be interpreted as narcotic smuggling. In parts of Europe, customs might stop you if you're carrying more than a 90-day supply, even if it's prescription. And in the US, the TSA officially allows pills in unlimited quantities. But that fine print hides the fact that agents can still pull you aside, test the pills for trace chemicals, and if they doubt authenticity, they'll confiscate them. Nobody talks about the awkward gray moment when an agent shakes a small plastic pill organizer and says, "What is this?" And you stammer, "It's for cholesterol," while strangers behind you sigh impatiently. That's the untold truth. Confiscation is not a matter of black and white rules. It's a fragile dance of appearances, labels, confidence, and sometimes luck. And here's the scary part. Some travelers discover too late that carrying certain common over-the-counter pills is banned in countries like Japan, the UAE, or Singapore, where even something as normal as codeine or ADHD medication can be treated as a controlled substance. Imagine landing after a 15-hour flight and being pulled aside because of pills you bought at a drugstore back home. The solution isn't just carry less or hide it better. The solution is to understand that airport confiscations are about human perception, not just aviation law. Wrap your pills with respect. Keep labels intact. Carry a doctor's note if your medication is unusual. Present them with confidence, not secrecy, because at the end of the day, the airport security officer isn't thinking about your health. They're thinking about risk control, about liability, about making sure nothing in your bag can raise questions at 30,000 feet. And if you ever thought pills were too small, too personal to attract attention, remember this: the tiniest objects in your bag often create the biggest drama in an airport.